Hello, and welcome to the third episode of Use Your Power. I'm your host, Craig Davis, and as an audio description, I'm a man in my 40s with a blue shirt, short blonde hair, and short gray beard. And I'm still here. No thanks to Kevin. You know Kevin knows who he is. This episode is brought to you by RevUp, which stands for Register, Educate, Vote, and Use Your Power, as in using your power to advance the disability vote. First, I want to make you aware of some important elections that are coming up on May 1st.
These are the cities in Texas holding elections for city council and mayor on May 1st, 2021. Arlington, Dallas, Fort Worth, Garland, Irving, Plano, and San Antonio. Dallas is voting for city council only.
To talk more about the elections in San Antonio, we'll be joined by Melanie Cawthon, who is the Executive Director and Co-founder of disABILITY San Antonio. So we're here with Melanie Cawthon, who's the Executive Director and Co-founder of disABILITYsa. And can you just give me a little bit more information about your organization?
I'd love to. So disABILITYsa is a local nonprofit organization in San Antonio that works to educate, advance, and engage individuals living with disabilities in our community by sharing information, creating opportunities, and strengthening the organizations that serve them. And so we work to connect individuals living with a disability and their caregivers to the resources in our community. We work to make sure that there are opportunities to actively engage in the community. And we work to bring together the disability service providers in town so that we can help strengthen each other and in order to better and more comprehensively serve the disability community of San Antonio.
Can you tell me a little bit about the canvassing work that you've been doing around in San Antonio?
I'd love to. So we got on a call with Bob over at revuptx, and he was looking at what all of the communities were doing. And we stepped up and answered that call to action and got to work, rolled up our sleeves, and we pulled together as many disability service providers as we could into convening to talk about what questions we would want, or we thought the individuals we serve would want to be asking the candidates in both the mayoral and city council elections that are coming up in May. And when they registered to attend that convening, they submitted the questions that they had on mind. And we ended up with about 80 questions to pick from. And when we got together, we narrowed that down to about 18 questions for the city council candidates, as well as 18 questions for the mayoral candidates. And those were 2 questions in about 9 different topic areas, from housing to transportation, employment, and so on and so forth. And then we put those out in a survey to the general public and asked them to prioritize and pick their top 10. So we ended up with a candidate survey for both the mayoral and the city council candidates that had 10 to 11 questions on them. And we were really surprised, because this is really our first concerted effort here in San Antonio to find out how candidates stand with the disability vote issues. And we had a 66% response rate from all of the candidates. And we have some pretty big campaigns this year. There's some districts that are running 12 to 14 candidates, all the way down to 2, but a 66% response rate is pretty good. And then out of those who did respond to our candidate survey, another 90% of those said yes, they would attend a candidate forum that we have scheduled for March 30th. So when we were putting together the questions for the preliminary candidate survey, we were asked to do it fairly broadly, so we weren't specifically focusing on any one disability sector. Obviously making sure that they weren't yes or no questions, and making sure that the questions were targeted towards things that city council and the mayor actually have influence over. And those responses are all posted on our website under our Partners in the Disability Vote page. But then when we come up on our candidate forum next Tuesday, March 30th, we are taking questions just broadly from the attendees who are attending, and those will probably be more specific to individual concerns and not so overarching like our candidate survey was. So it'll be a great opportunity for candidates to really just respond to the constituents in the San Antonio area. And we'll have breakout rooms for each of the 10 districts that are up for election this year in that forum space. So we're excited to be doing this, and think that for our first efforts, we've gotten a really good response.
Congratulations. Sounds like you've gotten a really great response so far.
Yes.
So I want to talk a little bit about your vision statement for disABILITysa. And it's to make San Antonio the #1 community where people with disabilities want to live, work, and play. Where did that vision stem from?
So it stemmed from our work we were doing to help achieve our mission, right, which is to educate, advance, and engage individuals with disabilities in our local community. And as we started to do that work full time, we've actually been around for 14 years, but we just incorporated and became a nonprofit back in 2016. And hired our first full-time staff person, me, in May of 2017. So as we began to fully engage in the work of our mission, what we found is that we were having these conversations about why it was important to meet the bare minimum of the law, right? ADA is the law, and it doesn't make it's just the bare minimum. And what we ended up doing is we started having these conversations. Okay, so yeah, ADA is great and good for you if you're doing it, you're following the law. Congratulations. But what we want is a community that's disability friendly. And what the conversation needs to be is, it's not about whether you're following the ADA or not. It's choosing to do better than what your basic minimum requirement is. It's choosing to want that community where everybody has options and choices and connection and community. And so with that, we knew that our vision had to be to make San Antonio the #1 place where people with disabilities want to live, work, and play. We don't want to be that bare minimum community. And we have a lot of things going on for us. We have a lot of room for growth, and there's many communities that do this, that better, or that better. And it's just looking and reflecting at all of those best practices around the country and making sure that our leaders know what those are, and really encouraging, influencing, and inspiring those who make decisions for San Antonio to choose to do better for our constituents.
Great. And so can you tell me, are there any volunteer opportunities that people in the San Antonio area can get involved in?
We have a ton of volunteer opportunities. So you've heard a little bit about the work that we do, but between our community engagement programs, our advocacy programs, our strengthening programs, our navigation programs, our leadership development programs, up until a year ago, we were a staff of 1. Now there are 3 of us, but 3 people with all that work means tons of volunteer opportunities. So you can come help make this organization stronger by participating in one-day programs where you're just out there with us for the day, coming in and finding a niche in one of our planning teams or on one of our fundraising committees to plan our special events. We have a purse auction and we have a tree auction that we do, and those are super fun. But our planning teams for the community engagement events are pretty fun too, and that's getting ready for things like fiesta, where we engage people in community celebrations. We have our Ability Strong Parade, which is one of 6 to 7 disability pride parades that happen across the country. We have our annual resource festival that is super exciting. And so there's lots of jobs and things to do. There are virtual opportunities and in-person opportunities. So on an annual basis, we update our database of special education teachers throughout San Antonio, and that takes lots and lots of hours to do. And that's something that can be done from home in the safety of your own environment. And we have our Conversation 360s, where we need room moderators and timekeepers and break room transition coordinators. And so there's still lots of ways to get involved, lend a helping hand, and be a part of the mission of disABILITYsa.
Great. And so you are known, your organization is known for hosting so many like community events and programs. How has the pandemic affected that? And will it look different moving forward?
So just like with everybody else, when community shut down, our community engagement programs shut down because there weren't opportunities to engage people in community life at that point. And of course, we pivoted the coin term like everybody else, and we brought some of our programs to the virtual platform. And a lot of our time was spent really gearing up our advocacy work and helping individuals navigate resources to help them during the COVID time. And we saw some benefits from going virtual that I think will help to develop some of our programs moving forward. So an example of that would be with our annual resource festival, the Accessibility Fest. Our exhibitors who had participated with us for the last 10 to 14 years found that they had even more engagement with those who attended virtually than they had being out there in person in that festival environment. And so we're looking at doing some hybrid programs where there's virtual and in-person components, because we all know that as inaccessible as a lot of virtual platforms are, they did open the door for some individuals who really just don't have the comfort level or the interest or the ability to get out there and engage in in-person activities. And it really allowed for people to participate in things that they might not have otherwise. So for those two reasons, we are looking at how we can engage both the in-person and the virtual platform in our programs as we move forward into the new normal.
The new normal. Well, thank you so much. And just want to tell our viewers, if you're interested in receiving updates from disABILITYsa, head over to their website, disABILITYsa.org, and click subscribe. And once you enter your information, you'll receive their newsletter with more information and ways to get involved. So Melanie Cawthon, thank you so much for highlighting some of the amazing work that you're doing.
Thank you, Craig, so much for having us. We appreciate the opportunity to share.
Thank you. While it may be too late to register for the May 1st election, please register now for any future elections. Remember, just one registration for a lifetime full of elections. So let's go to Tessa Goodnight, our producer, as she does a short tutorial on registertovote.org.
Hello everyone, I'm making a tutorial today to show you a very fast and easy way to register to vote. Now, before you turn off the video because you think you're already registered to vote, the site that I'm going to show you will also allow you to verify your registration. So just in case something's happened and you're not registered the way you thought you were, you'll be able to verify it and make sure you're registered before the deadline is up. The first thing you have to do to get started is open up a web browser application on your phone. On my iPhone, I use Google Chrome. So if you look down in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see the red, yellow, and green icon for Google Chrome. So just tap that. Then you're going to tap on the search bar. Then you're going to type register the number 2 vote.org/?revuptx and hit go in the bottom right corner of your screen. This is the first page you're going to see. And registertovote.org will also help you sign up to vote by mail. So once you've gone through the registration process, this site will also help you with a mail-in ballot. We're going to scroll down, and the site's going to ask you for some information to check if you're registered already. I am registered, I've verified that, so I'm just going to use a fake name for demonstration purposes. You'll type in your first name, middle name, and last name. Then tap continue. It's going to ask for your street address and a zip code. And then your date of birth. Then tap continue. Now it's going to ask you for some contact information, namely your email and phone number. You have to put in an active email and phone, so I'm going to use my real email address. If you tap the box beside Get Voting Reminders, registertovote.org will send you some really helpful information about elections and even polling places. Now you're going to tap Confirm My Registration. We're in Texas, in Travis County, so select your state and your county. Then tap Register to Vote. So it's letting me know that the state that I'm in does not offer online voter registration. But the great thing about this site is that they will send you the registration information in the mail, and all you have to do is fill it out and put it back in a mailbox. You don't even have to pay for any postage. So we're going to tap Register by Mail, and it's going to ask me to confirm my address, so you can put in a different address than the one you just entered. It's showing all the information I've already entered, and then all you need to do is tap I am a US citizen, because that's a requirement to vote. And once you click Submit, they're going to send you that information in the mail, like I said, and all you have to do is return it postage paid. And that's it.
One of the bills that we're following very closely is SB 7, Senate Bill 7, and it's a voting bill. And although it may have already been heard by the time that this episode drops on Friday, it's still important that the members hear from the disability community, because whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, this bill will make it harder for people with disabilities to vote.
Stop SB 7 by calling the State Affairs Committee members. The following phone numbers all begin with the area code 512. Senator Brian Hughes, Chair, 463-0101. Senator Brian Birdwell, 463-0122. Senator Donna Campbell, 463-0125. Senator Bob Hall, 463-0102. Senator Eddie Lucio, Jr., 463-0127. Senator Jane Nelson, 463-0112. Senator Beverly Powell, 463-0110. Senator Charles Schwertner, 463-0105. Senator Judith Zaffarini, 463-0121.
Well, we're at the end of another episode, and we'd like to thank everyone that has shared and liked our content from the first 2 episodes. And we invite you to go into our YouTube page and to hit the subscribe button. And we'd like to hear from you, even you, Kevin. Please go into share your content with us at revuptx@gmail.com. Until next time, I've been Craig Davis, and you better use your power.